Hey, welcome everybody. I'm going to be giving you a demonstration of how to mix the red, yellow, and blue, which are the primary colors, together to create the entire spectrum of the color wheel. So some of the things that you need that will be in the classroom, of course, are the paints, the tempera paints, yellow, red, green, and blue. Those are your building blocks right there. You're also going to need a paintbrush. Choose one from your bag of paintbrushes. You're going to need a pencil, your eraser, a small piece of paper towel, a container with half full of water that you're going to get over at the sink, right? And your container that you brought in. Those are the things you need. So let's just, I'm going to change the camera up here, so hold on. Make sure I get it all in there. So by now you have drawn your entire, used your template, and you drew it 12 times, right? And the other thing that you did was you labeled, or should be labeling, on the outside of the circle, yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, blue, violet, violet, red, red, orange, orange, and yellow, orange. Those are on the outside. And at this point, you want to take a good look to see if you have any marks inside that template. So, let's see if I can show you some. Look up there. I think maybe like right here, things like that. Because once you paint it, you can't erase it because the paint will be covering it. So you want to make sure that they're nice and clean before you start painting, all right? Here, that you can see everything. Yeah, all right. So let's just put this over here right now. We're gonna go this way on the color wheel. You know, we're going to, you can go that left or right, whatever you want to do, but the ones that I have follow this color wheel. But other color wheels show it going differently. So don't worry about it. Just make sure the colors go in that order. You can start over here, it's gonna go in the same order. Over here, it's gonna be the same order. Just remember that. So let's set up your container. So the first color we're gonna work with is yellow. And if it's the first class of the day, anyway, when you shake it, always put your finger on there, otherwise it kind of goes blowing across the classroom in a mess and not good. So how much paint are you gonna go in there? About that much, like the size of a quarter, all right? You can always come back for more paint, seriously, okay? So so you know what? And I'm going to, the next color I've been working is going to be yellow-green. So I know that all of these colors I'm making are only from these three different colors, red, yellow, and blue. So I know green is made by blue and yellow mixed together. So what's the other color I'm gonna need? Is the blue. And some color will people like to just put the red, yellow, and blue on there right away, you know, like the yellow, blue, and red, and just paint that part right there. If you want to do that, that's fine. I just think this is a more easier way to do it. So you load up your paintbrush, okay? And you're going to come over here, and you're going to paint. I have a really bad paintbrush here. Of all those paintbrushes that we have to choose from, I picked the one that doesn't work. That's kind of crappy, to tell you the truth. So, but you have small paintbrushes and big giant paintbrushes. Use the correct paintbrush. Think about if you were going to paint the garage door, like the big giant door that opens up and people put their cars in there, you would not be using a tiny paintbrush. So think about the correct paintbrush for the right size that you're going to be painting. Okay. So, and again, I'm working very hastily. So I had my yellow done. Bum bum. All right, so the next one I want to do is, I really think I'm going to go over to the blue. So every time you new color, you have to clean it off, clean your paintbrush off, and wipe it down with a paper towel. So now I'm going to take my blue and grab some blue. And I'm going to show you. So you can just move your paper like that. Again, when you paint, roll up your sleeves all the time. And so you don't want to like drag your sleeve across that. So you're just going to go like this and move it. There you go. And so you're going to find where the blue is. And you're going to paint that in. And again, this is a really crummy paintbrush. And you're definitely going to take a lot more time than I'm doing, but I just have so many minutes on my YouTube video that I can upload without, I think, having to pay for it or something. I don't know. I just need to make it more succinct. That's really what I have to do. So anyway. And you know what? It's always so much fun to paint. Again, when you pour the paint inside your plastic paint container, the first time I'm going to help you with it, just so you understand what I mean by small amounts, okay? So we got that. So now the colors over here are yellow, green, green, and blue-green. And so if we looked at this, now look, I'm going to show you something. See, that blue is not the exact same shade, right? So you're going to have to remember that when you're painting. That may not look exactly like that, but I'll just take one of these down. The paints, this was done with the paints that we have in the classroom. So you can kind of see there was light blue, and actually it's very close. So you can always look at the display that I have in the classroom to check if your colors are right. So the next color I'm going to go for is going to be this. I'm going to make green. I'm just going straight out and going to make green, because green is by equal amounts of yellow and blue, which I happen to have right here, right? So I'm going to I take some and I put it in a little area there. Hopefully you can see that. And then another, and then I mix that together. Okay. So is that really the right green? I don't know. So what I do on that piece of paper, or that paper towel that I had, or another piece of paper, is I kind of paint it on there and take a look at it. Now, is that a green? You know what? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good green. Maybe I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to it. So I'm working on a tertiary color. I mean a secondary color. Green is a secondary. So I like that green a lot better. There's my green area, and so I'm going to paint it in there. Okay. So to save time, I'm just going to not even fill the whole thing in at this point with us, because I want to show you what you do next. So now the other colors that I have using the yellow and the blue is finding a blue-green. So I can still take that same green that I used already and add some blue to it to make a blue-green. And I think it might work really well. Hey, the thing is that if it doesn't, then start over. This is supposed to be fun. It is fun. So the word is actually blue-green, which kind of tells you there's a little bit more blue than green in there. So let's take a look back here. Yeah, that's a nice blue-green. I like it. Yeah, see, that's a blue-green right there. So that would go over here. see that? Yeah, okay? And you're gonna fill the whole thing in, just reminded you that. And then the other part, using just the blue and the green colors, because that's what we have in our container right now, is we're gonna make a yellow-green. So, we're gonna make a green once again. Can you guys see that? There. So those of you who have a really small paint plastic, this is when you're gonna say, oh gosh, I wish I would have got a bigger one, all right? So there's the green, but what I'm looking for is yellow-green, which means there's gonna be more yellow in there. So I'm gonna take a big glob of yellow from here. You guys see that? I took some from there, and I mixed that in there. Okay, and I'm gonna make it a little bit more. Oh, and FYI, there's no sharing colors. Each student's gonna be making their own colors. So like, if Bob's sitting at the table with you, Bob has to make his own, all right? No sharing it. So, see that? Yeah, that's a pretty nice. So, wow, is it different than that? Not much. Can you see that it's not much different? So I'm gonna clean my brush again. And now I'm gonna do something completely different. I'm gonna take this and add it to the yellow. Oh yeah, there we go. There's our yellow-green. Perfect. All right. All right. So just to recap, is that you're working in sections at a time. So you're working with 2 primary colors at a time. The ones we used for this was blue and yellow, and then we filled in that blue and yellow area, okay? When you're done with that blue and yellow area, you're gonna take this back over to the sink and clean it all out and dry it, all right? And then you're going to go on to the next sections of color. Right here, you already have your yellow, but you're gonna put yellow back into your container, and you're also gonna put red, and then you're gonna do those colors right in there, okay? So it's always two primary colors to make the other colors. So like here's blue, and here's red, we'll make red violet, violet, and blue violet. And right here was red and yellow that make red orange, orange, and yellow orange. So hopefully that kind of helped you out. Things to remember is to clean out your brush between colors, and clean your container between colors, sections as well. It gets to get muddy. So if you have muddy water, your paint colors are also going to be muddy as well. So there's some, housekeeping things you have to take care of in order to have a successful painting. Make sure you always have that. These will always remain back on the cart. You're not taking these to your desk, all right? You're gonna take this to the cart and fill it up and stuff like that. Anyway, so what else? Let's see. Let's switch back on here. So let's say, okay. So now you have, let's pretend it's already painted. Everything looks fabulous. The colors look good. It was, marvelous. And you still have these lines between the different colors, between the different template, the same template. So you're gonna take your eraser and you're gonna have to go through and erase all of those lines. Got that? All of the pencil marks that you've made, you're gonna be erasing. And remember, I don't know if I said this already, but when you make pencil marks, especially on the outside, make it light so you can erase it. These lines that you drew, one of the initial things that you did to draw the sections, those should be light as well. So you want to, when you're all done painting, you're gonna go through and erase all of those marks so that everything is nice and clean and crisp. So things to remember is that you're supposed to enjoy this and have fun and, you know, and learn how to make all these different colors. Because now that we know how to, now that when you finally do know how to make all these colors, that will, you have that in your arsenal in order to do the next thing we're going to be doing, which is the Day of the Dead paper mache mask. Got it? Anyway, I'll catch you later. Bye-bye, Saints.